What's going on? Never can.
1039 WDKX, not just a radio station. Part of your family with the soundtrack of your life.
My history with Andrew Langston, it goes from the day I was born. He's my grandfather. I'm his only grandchild, and he was just my best friend in the entire world.
He came to Rochester, I believe it was in 1960, for a television job. He had worked for CBS in New York City and just fell in love with broadcasting.
So he actually applied for a TV position here, and he sent only an audio tape. But when he got here and they saw that he was of color, they didn't want to put him on TV at the time. So he moved his whole family up from New York to come to Rochester, and he didn't have a job. And so he took what he learned down in New York working on Wall Street and working in the financial district and became an insurance man.
He was a successful insurance agent and had already started, well, for a number of years, trying to acquire an FM radio license for an available frequency.
They started the whole process back in '68, I believe. They had to go down to Washington, D.C. and secure an actual frequency for the station, which is like unheard of. So my grandfather met in front of the FCC and went through all these different trials and tribulations and finally secured 103.9. And it took years until we could finally become live on air. It wasn't until 1974 that they went live.
Andrew Langston was a true pioneer in the radio industry. First African American to get an FCC radio license. But the story that is rarely told, he fought the antiquated rating system at the time. And he proved, after going to the moon for years, that his listenership was much broader and more impactful than they were giving him credit for. And he won. And he passed on that legacy of never giving up to his family today.
Andrew Langston's leadership style was sometimes fierce. It was a little on the dogmatic side. He insisted on excellence.
I think his passion inspires people. I think his hard work inspired people. He wanted to create a voice for the Black community. And he wanted to be a pioneer in that industry. To me, one of the biggest contributions he made to the industry, showing people that people of color could own media companies, was huge. And the fact that he established such a foundation for this company, for it to last today, right now we're the last Black-owned radio station in the state.
Here's a great Andrew Langston story about the man. He's giving a speech to 250 people. And he would stop if he saw us in the audience and point out that the Smith Brothers and Jay were the first agency to ever buy time on his station. And as fond as we were of Andrew, the only reason we did is because his station delivered. And he always delivered. But he loved the loyalty of it all. And that's what that man was all about, loyalty. Only surpassed by his relentless and focused commitment to his family, his station, and the community at large. This guy was a true Rochester classic.
Andrew Langston, Andy, inspired others by giving back. He was a member of the Junior Achievement Group that went into high schools, spoke to students about career in broadcasting, and that education is the key to success.
He's a perfect choice for the Rochester Business Hall of Fame because he was an innovator, he was unstoppable, and he is really a man of Rochester. He came into the city and wanted to see it be better, and he did whatever he could to better impact the community. And every day as we pop the mic or we play music, we try to just express our culture, our heritage, and our history through the airwaves. whether it be we're in the community or we create events or we just talk to our listeners. Because when we say we're part of your family, we truly mean that. We've been in this community for 44 years, so people have grown up listening to the station.
He overcame a lot of obstacles, being black from Georgia, and but he did. He was made for success.
We would like to thank you for making WDKX Rochester's #1 radio station. Nielsen rating, verified, #1. The authentic 103.9 WDKX.